because that was like a big gig to have booked. And then it only lasts one season. So how do you not get bogged down by the disappointment and keep your sights set on forging forward?
Yeah, it's a great question, Perry. So what am I? 19, 20, something around that age. Number one, when you're a youngster on a show like that, a lot of stuff you don't necessarily understand all the politics that are going on. Again, I don't remember necessarily being as aware of what was going down. I do remember there were a lot of cooks in the kitchen, on a show like that. And we had such a blast. Oh my gosh. It was so, but again, it was incredible. It was a very expensive show as well. I think it's kind of, when something starts out as one thing, I remember there were a lot of political undertones to the original pilot and the meaning. And I think what happens is sometimes that can, get diluted into making some type of, not soapy, but just, it becomes this, whatever people feel like it needs to be. But sometimes you can dilute something, you lose the uniqueness or the thinginess of it, and then it ends up not being really for anyone, or you don't know where to place it, so I think maybe it was a little bit to do with that. And I guess down to just ratings. I guess it didn't, again, I don't know, I just remember having such a blast, and then it was over. It was just like, however, I'll be really honest with you, didn't really want to live in Australia. I loved Australia. No. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Like, Australia's stunning. And there's a difference between working there and then being like, you're there for 8 years on a show that runs for 8 years. And, remember these contracts, they were like, let me sign you up for, the next decade. Like, back in the day, they were like those pilots, you used to, I say back in the day, it wasn't like flipping, 20 years ago, but it has, by the way, changed a lot, right? So I was kind of like, this might be, for me personally, as incredible as the experience was, a bit of a blessing in disguise, maybe. That's not to say, again, that I didn't love it and I wasn't disappointed, obviously, that it didn't do what it was meant to do, but just, I would definitely always see things in the sense of, okay, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. And by the way, sometimes you have to say that to yourself when you're like, but I really wanted that job, or I really, but I really felt like that was one. Oh gosh, I've had those moments where I felt like a job. I'm like, this is it. And then it's not, and you're just like, but I thought, no, but all the signs were pointing to it, So yeah, weirdly enough, I think I was okay. I think I was like, you know what? There'll be something else. And I was, I don't know. I was strangely okay about it.
When you brought up the Australia thing, I thought you were going to say you couldn't live there because of the giant bugs. Because now that I'm on TikTok all day, the only videos I see from Australia are videos of gigantic bugs like hiding in toilets and stuff, and I can't handle it.
Oh, actually, we did have, do you know what? We did one time, we had someone on set all the time that would be there specifically for that, because sometimes we'd be filming like in the, forest, I don't know, whatever it is, in some sort of, place. And there was one time the guy was like, he shouted, because he could, and he said, everyone stand still, and everyone froze. And there was this black widow spider that was just crawling across the log, and then they have to go and like find it. And there was another moment where Jason, who played my dad, we're in the middle of a scene, just started going, and like I was like, this is where he died. I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna die. It's gonna be on the news. It's gonna be like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, and he had these giant ants that had bitten him, and so he was just ripping off his shirt. And then we made a joke. We were like, you just always wanted to get your kit off any chance, So I was snakes are the things that I can't do. I cannot do snakes. No, thank you. But yeah, no, more just because it's just so far away from home. And I think, I didn't, the other thing is I never really wanted to get the idea of being like, you have to do this and then you have to do it for 10 years. That made me feel a little bit trapped. I didn't like that idea. There was so much I wanted to explore and do, that actually after that experience, I said to my team, I was like, I don't want to just sign up to something for 7 years. I don't really want to do that unless it really, really, really makes sense.